Have you ever questioned why the land of dreams, the United States, is also home to over 500,000 homeless individuals, while also grappling with a growing migrant crisis? It's a jarring paradox, isn't it? The American dream, a beacon of hope for so many, a reality far removed for over 567,715 souls, as indicated by the National Alliance to End Homelessness. Now let's contrast this with the rising tide of migrants. The United Nations reports that every day 44,000 people are compelled to abandon their homes due to conflict and persecution. That's a small city's worth of individuals each day seeking refuge, safety and to start anew. Yet here we are, in a world of stark contrasts and unsettling realities. Simultaneously, there's yet another issue that can't be ignored: the importance of immunization. And no, it's not just about COVID-19. The realm of immunization stretches far beyond encompassing diseases like chickenpox, tuberculosis, and more. These medical safeguards are fundamental, not just for the well-being of individuals, but also for the health of communities and at large. In the face of such staggering figures and expansive concerns, one can't help but ponder, what's going wrong? Invisible to many, these crises of homelessness and migration are intertwined, each exacerbating the other. Let's delve into the heart of this complex issue. It's a precarious dance of economic instability, lack of affordable housing, and increased migration. These factors are not isolated, they feed into each other, creating a downward spiral that catches the most vulnerable in its unforgiving whirl. Economic instability is a familiar monster. It looms over societies, casting a shadow of uncertainty. When the economy stumbles, job security stutters, and the dominoes begin to fall. People lose their jobs, their incomes, and finally their homes. This instability doesn't just affect the citizens of a country. It also impacts migrants who arrive in hopes of a better life, only to be met with a harsh reality. Then we have the issue of affordable housing, or rather the lack thereof. It's no secret that the cost of living has been climbing steadily over the years. In many places, the price of a roof over one's head is a luxury, not a given. This lack of affordable housing pushes those living on the brink into the abyss of homelessness. Finally, we cannot ignore the role of increased migration. People are fleeing their homes due to conflicts, persecution, or the hope of a better life. But this surge of migration puts a strain on the resources of the host countries. It's a pressure cooker situation where the lid could blow off at any moment. These factors work in tandem, creating a vicious cycle. Economic instability leads to job loss, which in turn leads to homelessness. Lack of affordable housing compounds this issue, and the increased influx of migrants adds further strain on the already stretched resources, leading to more homelessness. This is not a burden borne equally. It's the poor, the marginalized, the vulnerable who bear the brunt of these crises. They are the collateral damage in a world that's too often indifferent to their plight. The burden of these crises is not borne equally. It's the vulnerable who bear the brunt. The health risks these crises pose are significant, not just for those directly affected, but for society as a whole. It's not just about the migrant or the homeless individual, it's about the interconnected web of health that ties us all together. Now let's think about it with greater emphasis on the importance of testing and immunization of everyone entering this country. Migrants often endure perilous journeys, facing exposure to the elements, violence, and a lack of basic necessities. This stress, coupled with poor living conditions, can lead to a multitude of health issues. If one person in a crowded shelter contracts an airborne disease, it can spread like wildfire, affecting not only those in the immediate vicinity, but potentially the wider community as well. This is why mandatory testing and immunization for all entering the United States is absolutely crucial for the protection of public health. Our homeless citizens living without regular access to sanitation facilities or even a safe place to sleep are at an increased risk of contracting and spreading diseases. The paradoxical reality where some individuals have lost their jobs due to their refusal to adhere to immunization protocols, yet migrants are allowed entry without any checks for immunization or testing, only underscores the of strict health protocols for everyone entering this country. But the danger doesn't stop there. These diseases can easily spill over into the general population, causing a threat to public health that goes beyond the confines of the crisis itself. Therefore, for the safety of society, we need to ensure that everyone entering this country, without exception, undergoes testing and immunization. Testing not only helps the individual, but also in the prevention of potential outbreaks amongst the wider population. It provides us with data to understand the extent of the health risks, thus allowing us to allocate resources effectively, devise appropriate health strategies, and ultimately save lives. Furthermore, immunization is a critical step toward preventing the spread of diseases. It is a way of showing care and respect for these vulnerable populations and the general public, their right to health and their importance in our society. It sends a message that their well-being matters, that they are not forgotten. Health security is collective responsibility. We cannot afford to ignore the health risks of these crises. Let's remember, we're not just dealing with statistics or faceless crowds, but with real people who deserve our attention and care. Therefore, mandatory testing and immunization for all entrants is not just a policy, it's a necessity for the health of our nation. We are all part of the same human family, and their health is our health. These crises are not insurmountable. Solutions exist, but they need your support. We are all part of the global community, and it's only through collective action that we can begin to address these immense challenges. Each of us has a part to play. You might wonder, how can I, as an individual, help to combat these crises? Well, there are many ways, and every single effort counts. Firstly, advocate for policy changes. This means raising your voice, contacting your government representatives, and pushing for legislation that addresses these issues head-on. It could be policies that improve access to healthcare for migrants or laws that increase support for homeless citizens. Remember, our lawmakers are there to represent us, and your voice matters. Secondly, consider donating to organizations that are tirelessly working on the ground to alleviate these problems. These groups provide immediate relief to those affected, and your financial contributions go a long way in supporting their work. It's a direct way of making a tangible impact. Volunteering is another powerful way to contribute. Many organizations need hands-on help, whether it's serving food at a homeless shelter, teaching skills to migrants, or helping with medical testing. Your time and effort can make a world of difference in someone's life. Finally, spread awareness. Talk about these issues with your friends, family, and colleagues. Share relevant information on social media. Start conversations. The more people are aware of these crises, the more pressure there is on those in power to act. Now, you might be thinking, can my efforts really make a difference? The answer is a resounding yes. Each and every one of your actions, no matter how small they may seem, can have a ripple effect. It's about creating a wave of change, and that starts with you. The power to change these grim realities lies in your hands. Act now for a future where everyone has a place to call home.